Yeah, I think I agree. I think Allegiance should probably win that just based on I know them better than I know Game Time Go. Sorry, it's just how it is. But here we are. The Dudes versus Rogue. A best of 5 once again is beginning right now. This is a must-win situation for both these two teams or they will be out of the tournament. Of course, all these 5 teams in the lower bracket fighting for one spot into Leipzig. Equinox is waiting in the loser
so
final.
Happy you're saying it right now.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody else in chat is too.
Yeah, to see who comes out from all of these teams. So here we go. Rogue versus the Dudes. I think this could definitely go either way. Lawler, you say you think you favor the Dudes a little bit better?
It's not that I favor them. I just think that this is going to be their best chance. Out of all the teams that they could have matched up against, I do think a Rogue that is trying to find their identity is a really good way to do it. So as long as they come out aggressive and they're having no issues with that, as you see Joro coming in and contest the mid side, it's a good way to do it. You know, put on the pressure, make sure these guys are struggling as much as they can on that back end, and force them to make mistakes.
Yeah, keep the pressure on. I think it's maybe it's up to the Dudes to really make that pressure happen and take the game to Rogue. Really try to throw them off their game early. I think it's a great opportunity in the early game to kind of do that when there's no goals on the scoreboard. Just come out hot, come out firing. So we'll see what happens. For now, a lot of back and forth. No goals yet. A minute down. See Insolences in the backfield with a nice play, extending it over to the left-hand side. Probably looking for a teammate in the middle. AXB with some solid defense there, trying to keep it out. But there it goes in the other direction. Joro sending it back over to the blue side. So pretty even overall. I'm not seeing necessarily any dominance in possession. 2 shots, though, for the Dudes compared to 0 shots from Rogue.
I mean, you're starting to see that pressure we talked about, but they need to be careful. They need to find a balance of that as well. Because when you apply a lot of that pressure and you're just forcing to make as many touches as possible, sometimes you do become a little overzealous and you miss things you normally wouldn't. So making sure they're aware of that. Don't be too afraid to slow it down and really control the pace. As Moses with an easy clear back down to the orange side of the half. The ball going to get cleared immediately and a pass back inside, but nobody there. Insolence is having to make a save, plays it back into the corner safe. Is he able to clear this one out?
And there we see Joro in the midfield. So the Dude's doing a pretty good job keeping it on that blue side. Let's see if they can keep it up with this possession. AXB now going up, sending over to the left corner. Sizz is there, a little bit awkward though. He's kind of backwards actually, going to bring it back to the middle. 2 members of the Dudes actually going up to meet that and neither able to convert a hit. So Rogue potentially 3-1 advantage, a scoring opportunity, but there's some solid defense bringing it back the other way for the Dudes. And yep, we're staying back and forth halfway through on the game time. We're 0-0. Both these teams certainly understand how important this match is. Again, best of 5, loser out, winner moves on. So both probably playing a little bit safe, a little bit tight. Certainly a lot of warm up at this point for both these teams in this tournament. So I guess not too surprised to see a low score. And so far, almost one that snuck in there from the Dudes. But Insolences, or I think that was Sizz, able to keep it out.
Yeah, good job by both teams already getting physical in this game. You saw Moses originally was the one to demo one of those players, which allowed that possession to stay on the side in favor of Rogue for quite a while, but then reciprocated back immediately. You saw Sizz on that back end trying to make that save, but also getting bullied by a defender as he comes in for this shot, missing just wide as Ralph makes a crucial save and immediately cleared downfield. Joro has an opportunity. He's going to play that off the backboard in front of the net, and a shot saved again by Insol, coming up clutch on defense for this Rogue roster.
Yeah, oh my gosh, double demo. The Dudes taking out Moses and Sizz. 3 versus 1 for a moment here. Can they convert that to anything? We're going to find out, but this is exactly what we're looking out for from the Dudes. Remember, they were actually playing super close against Equinox a little bit earlier, and that surprised me personally. So they can hang in there with the best of them. So doing a great job there with those 2 demos, not able to convert that into a scoring opportunity, but the pressure is certainly on here, and Rogue got to figure something out because I really feel like the Dudes is really taking it to Rogue, and I feel like they have been applying a little bit more pressure. What? That seems like the simplest goal in the world.
All it takes is one, man. I mean, you talk about that pressure, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Joro right there, he took that pressure into account, and it beat him. He wanted to hit that and clear it as quickly as possible because there was a defender approaching, but instead he whiffs the ball and it makes an easy, smooth sailing for Moses.
That's exactly what they want. Just 1 goal on the board. With as kind of slow as this game has been, with how safe both these teams are looking, that 1 goal has to feel pretty good. Rogue just has to keep it up, keep that solid defense going. They only have 1 minute to really kill, so to convert this into a victory. There's a nice pass over to Insolences, charging through the air there from Rogue, and Sizz is up there to try to follow that up, but from decent defense from Ralph. Joro, though, missing in midair. AXB there to follow it up, going to bring it up the right-hand side, trying to get it past Insolences. Is he able to do that? Can he pitch it over to the middle? Yes, he can, but Moses is there with some super solid defense over to Insolences. Joro Oh my gosh, able to smash it down from halfway.
Is this a doink? Oh my god.
And he just did a little jump there.
Oh, what a doink.
To usher that in.
Oh my god. That was really good, though. I mean, the dudes contest that and completely shut down that clear altogether, but to check back to the ball and play that over the top to tie it up, 30 seconds left, tied match. That's what we want. That's what we want out of a lower bracket.
Oh, yeah. Again, you win, you move on. You lose, you're out of the tournament. Everything on the line here. Best of 5, 15 seconds left, and we're tied 1-1. Will it go in overtime, or are we going to see a scoring opportunity? Ralph coming across, playing on the aggressive side. Sizz on defense, going to be stopped by Joro. Insolence is a little bit of an awkward position in the corner. AXB trying to find someone in the middle. Ralph is there, but he's just going to hit it off to the side, and he's going to hit it up now, and it's going to hit the ground. So we're going to overtime in our first game with Lawler on board. Lawler commentating, we get overtimes. I like it.
Yo, great defense on the end there by Rogue, suffocating that ball. As soon as that ball was played in the midfield, everybody on Rogue swarmed to it, shut it down. Great job.
All right, the dudes keeping up that aggression. We saw them doing this in the later stages of regulation. And now Ralph once again in the midfield. This is the play he knows and loves, just stopping it and trying to pass it forward. Joro trying to finish it off, but not able to make it happen. AXB in a great position there as well. Now Insolence is trying to get this ball out of the blue side, but the dude's not letting that happen. Ralph coming back in, throwing it up to the left-hand corner. A little bit of a mistake there. Joro going up, but having to do a flip reset as he miscalculated that. And now Rogue bringing it back the other way. AXB up on the backboard trying to get it out of the orange side. Joro on defense as well. Moses with a decent opportunity, and now another opportunity to make it in. A little bit of a clunkiness, and Insolence is able to take advantage. Rogue getting a 2-1 victory, scoring after 49 seconds of overtime. And Moses setting that up, but a little bit of a defensive lapse there from the dudes.
Yeah, huge mistake from AXB here, and hate to point him out on it, but two guys in rotation, easiest thing you can do on defense, rotate to back post and just sit and wait for the person who's already in net to make a play. Could have had an easy clear out, but instead he sits and goes parallel with him. Neither one knows what to do, and it just makes a wide open shot for Sizz to put it away. Or not Sizz. I don't even know who scored. Insult, Moses, one of those two.
Yeah, I think
Insult. Has to be Insult because Moses scored the first one. Either way,
yeah.
Someone on Rogue scored at the end of the game. The end.
Yeah, the end indeed for that game, but best of 5. I feel like the dudes, they had a lot of really good pressure overall. But if we look at the shot differential, there's none. It's completely even. 5 shots to 5 shots for both sides. It's just Rogue able to find that one moment at the end there. And again, when these close matches happen, and you know it's close, when it's pretty low scoring and we're going in overtime, sometimes it comes down to who makes the critical mistake. And I think that might have come down to a little mistake there from the dudes on defense rather than some super impressive fancy play from Rogue. So that's what happens in Rocket League a lot. It's just the team that can keep it together and avoid that critical mistake. So Rogue going to take a 1-0 advantage in this best of 5. But again, I think the dudes played some solid Rocket League, so they're certainly still in this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between the veterans, though. They know how to just settle, relax, and play their game. And all they're waiting really for is one mistake. And that's happened 2 times now. First time was with Sizz waiting on that wall. He played it in and kept pressure. And then eventually a clear forced Jaro to whiff. And they ended up getting a goal off of it. The next one there, another defensive mistake that they're there to capitalize on. So good job altogether done by Rogue, just playing their game and playing patient and just waiting for those opportunities to arise.
All right, we're about to get into game number 2 of this best of 5. The dudes have a little bit of room to work with here, but certainly have their minds set on securing a victory, on converting some of those chances that we've seen them have in this series so far in that game number 1. So we'll see what happens here. Kickoff underway, and here we go. Game number 2 of this best of 5. Moses passing it forward, trying to start off the aggression here for Rogue, but coming back the other way already. Ralph over to the corner, trying to hit it off the backboard. Some solid defense there from Insolences. Over to Moses. Nice team play there. AXB should be there on defense to bring it back the other direction. A little bit of ping pong to start things off here as both these teams gathering their bearings in this game number 2. AXB over to Joro. This could be a great opportunity, but defense is true there from Insolences. But that was a nice passing play from the dudes.
Excuse me.
You're good.
I'm dying.
You okay,
Save
man?
me. No.
Okay.
Either is the defense of the dudes.
Have a sip of water as we see Sizz.
That's what cost it, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Moses, the great pass off the backboard, and Joro just not able to get up in time. Sizz doing a great job closing that out. And Rogue on the board early, scoring within 50 seconds here. The 1-0 advantage. Nice play from Rogue.
Yep. Simple and clean, but
Yeah.
settled at midfield. Mose is going to take that boost and play it back off the wall instead of inside. Gives the opportunity for this dude's roster to move up, playing a little bit slow, trying to go over the top, but easily read by the defense of Rogue as they're back on offense. Just quick one touches into open field, allowing these guys to transition both sides down the field. So Ralph going to play that soft and low into the midfield. Easy for Moses to come and clear that back up, but seemingly easy for the dudes to follow it up. They always almost have a defender there waiting, ready to pounce on it. As this is pretty much the ping pong that we saw from earlier seasons of Rocket League.
I feel like there have been a couple times where the dudes have sent a couple folks up after some of these balls that are way up in the air. So I'd like to see them get a little bit better on the communication side, because you don't want to double commit. You don't want that to happen. So, and just as I say that, AXB and Ralph actually colliding in the midfield there. So got to work on some of that synergy and figuring that stuff out, because they don't have a lot of room to work with here. It's up to them to do something. They're down 0-1 in a game, and they're down 0-1 in the series. So the dudes have to figure it out here, but Rogue doing a good job staying tight, staying safe, playing some really good defense. We've had some spectacular saves, in particular from Insolences so far. What a play! AXB somehow, some way, gaining complete control of the ball and carrying it from the side into the back right of the net. A little flip in there as well, and Rogue just left watching that ball float into the net.
That flip was insane. He carries this as an air dribble, has one player in Moses contest off that back wall, but uses that flip to change the trajectory of the ball and then follow it up afterwards. Insane to tie it back up.
I'm like, did he still have boost? He saved his boost to be able to do that. Just phenomenal.
So he found his boost, like everything he did there was perfect.
Oh my god. All right, look out for AXP.
Really good.
We'll have to keep an eye on him to see if he can pull out some more of that stuff. But now we have a tie game, 1-1. Rogue is to be a little bit spooked about that play. I would be, I know. But the dudes, maybe they can use that to bring them some confidence and try to put together another goal here. AXB sending it over. Juro in a great spot in the middle, keeping it on that blue side. Two players from Rogue going up, and this could be a vulnerable position, but Sizz there on defense. AXB staying in the picture. Gonna keep it on that blue side. There's a pass from Joro over to Ralph in the middle, trying to get that on target. AXB just barely off on his positioning, and the more pressure coming in from the dudes. Not able to make a goal just yet, but if they can keep the pressure up, a goal has to be inevitable.
Just need to overwhelm this defense, but Rogue not making it easy, as AXB gonna carry that all the way around.
Not
trying to buy his team
nervous.
some time.
Every time he goes in the air, I'm like, okay, hold on, wait, hold on, what's going on here? But Rogue,
that same thing applies to the other side. I mean, Rogue now has to respect his ability in the air.
Yep. That's funny. That actually reminds me of when Squishy did that ceiling shot in RLCS, and where there were some interviews of Gale Force, and they're like, they got scared. They just started really respecting him. I mean, that happens in Rocket League. If these crazy plays come out, you're gonna get some respect from the other team. So I would love to see AXB just keep up that aggression, keep up those fancy plays. Sizz with a nice demo onto Ralph. It's Rogue's turn to try to apply some pressure, but AXB able to pull it to the other side. Insolences going up in the midfield, able to push it on over to Sizz. What is he going to do with this? Trying to be a little fancy with some dribbling plays in the middle, but the dude's going the other direction right away. I feel like the dude's having a lot of pressure on the blue side this entire time. AXB hitting it off the backboard, but Rogue trying to go the other way.
I mean, it's awesome that he mentioned that, though, and the Squishy thing. I mean, they're both Canadians. There's something about the Canadian blood, man, that makes you really good. Unless you're Leaf. That's a different story. A little bit different.
He's working on that. Hey, he's getting better. He's getting better at Rocket League.
Something like that, man.
Oh, man. All right, 1-1. 30 seconds left. I really feel like the momentum belongs to the dudes right now, but that was a pretty good scoring opportunity for Rogue. Ralph and Joro both going up to try to hit that down the field. AXB there, not able to get control of the ball. Moses to Insolence is trying to hit it back to Moses, but Joro is there from the dudes. Now AXB trying to hit it over to Ralph. Moses a little bit too quick. Insolence is nearly a shot opportunity. This could be an opportunity still. Sizz with a lot of time in the backfield, but only able to nudge it on over to the corner. Ralph is there to bring it back, and we might have overtime, barring a scoring opportunity here from Rogue. And here we go, overtime, game 2.
Back-to-back overtimes, man. I love it.
Me too.
Curious on how this one ends. If it's going to be another defensive mistake, or if dudes are going to be able to close it out with the jump reset. No, he's not going to use it.
Yeah. Is it either going to be a defensive mistake or something nutty? Some crazy flashy play to finish that game off. I feel like these teams are that good where it has to come down to one of those two options. But for now, we're seeing Rogue apply a good amount of pressure on the orange side, trying to keep it on in that direction. Insolences hitting it up. Moses in the midfield. Again, trying to keep it on that orange side. Insolences able to knock it. Sizz a little bit out of position there. I think he was expecting a pass, so he's going to get back as fast as he can. And now the dudes on the Rogue side. Ralph, almost an opportunity there to score. A great pass from his teammate there to almost convert a scoring opportunity. But relatively back and forth here in overtime. No team with a clear advantage, I don't think, as far as pressure is concerned.
No, those passes are what's going to take. They got to draw to the defender and then put a quick shot on net if they're going to try to get past this defense. As the ball wraps back around, Moses trying to half flip and clear it out. Manages to do it, but gets bumped along the way. As the pressure from the dudes still here. So he's going to slow it down. Doesn't have any boost. Able to pick up 100 here to go up for this save. A double commit. You can tell this dude's offense is spreading this defense thin, but all it takes is one clear. That's what it's been for the Rogue roster. As a shot on net is going to end it. Jero takes game number 2 for the team.
That's exactly what they were looking for. I think everyone was asking the question in their mind. This pressure from the dudes is phenomenal. When is that goal going to happen? And there it is, 1 minute and 20 seconds into overtime. A nice passing play there from the dudes, applying all that pressure and finally able to float it on over to the middle. And there we see the finish from Jero to give
11 shots to 2.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Just that pressure, keeping up that pressure. Eventually, one has to go in. Sizz had to have 5 saves there. But honestly, I mean, you kind of mentioned it before the series started. Just the amount of respect we need to give to the dudes, because this is a really solid team, and they're showing it there. Even it up the series 1-1 in a dominating fashion. Even though it was only a 2-1 scoreline, the shot differential, the pressure differential, all the momentum belongs to the dudes right now. So we'll see if that can carry it through into the next game. Again, we're tied 1-1, best of 5 series.
I mean, that's exactly what we talked about, though, at the very beginning. I feel like Rogue understands the capability that they have, but rather than moving on offense, they're just playing really defensive and just waiting for those opportunities to arise. And that's why we're seeing a 2-1. They're truly capable of making these saves, but the issue persists where if the rotations are clean from this squad of the dudes, it's going to lead to exactly what we just saw in that overtime. A lot of pressure. Eventually, you're not going to have enough boost to make up for shots, or you're going to see double commits, or someone's going to make a mistake, and it's going to leave an open net, and you see it there. I mean, pressure to the dudes is actually really working. They're playing their game the way they want to, and it's working out.
Yeah, and I feel like the way they're approaching it, always having a guy in the midfield ready to kind of prevent the ball from coming back onto their side. And that's great to have, but it's also important for that player to have playmaking ability. And I think they're converting that as well. AXB in particular, some super flashy plays in that game, one of those being a pretty crazy goal. So looking out for him to make some more plays as we get underway in this game number 3. Both these teams trying to get an advantage in this best of 5 series that is now effectively a best of 3 as we're tied 1-1. And for now, the pressure is starting with the dudes, as was happening all game long in the last game. And Rogue has to come up with something here. They're not having fun just playing the entire game on their end. They need to come up with something to get some momentum in their favor. But for now, AXB with some fancy dribbling plays, trying to pass it back. Sizz actually hitting it back towards his own goal, going to follow it up, trying to push it out somehow. Insolence is able to tap it up to Sizz. He's going to carry it over to that orange side. Can he convert anything? Nope. AXB is going to be there on defense. And now Rogue going to try to make something happen.
It's interesting to see the players of this Rogue roster right now try to figure out their dynamic. I mean, a lot of the reason why the offense was able to be is the duo of Matt and Sizz for the longest time has been that 1-2 pass play, or just something where they were just... they had the ability to connect on all levels. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
That might come back to hurt them. They should have scored that goal.
That was.
There's
that
no
was
excuse
insane.
for that.
I don't even. I have to like go back and watch to see how many chances they actually had to score there. But the dude's not able to convert a goal, and we're still tied 0-0. But now Rogue with the pressure, 2 players from the dudes going up to try to get that. But it looks like Jero able to push that out. Insolences over to Sizz, getting a hit off. This is actually a great move from Sizz. Gonna get the angle towards the goal. Insolence is there to finish it off, and that's the play you're looking for. Insolences and Sizz combining with the passing plays, and that all starts with Sizz passing that down, and that's a 1-0 advantage here for Rogue.
Yeah, great touch by Sizz. Also, the placement that he had on that, playing it far post, out of reach from Jero. As long as one of his teammates was shadowing it, able to follow up, which they are. They're able to go on top.
Whoa.
It's a minute 40 through this match. Just trying to do something all on his own. Not going to work out. But the pressure's still there on offense. Moses able to go up and contest this, but Joro ends up getting a lucky touch, playing it into the corner. Buys his team some time, but he's going to take it himself while grabbing that 100 boost. As the ball settles.
Sizz. Yeah, I mean, Rogue certainly playing a little better than last game, able to have a little bit more control over what's going on. And you got to wonder sometimes, you know that feeling in threes where you're getting so many chances, but you're not able to score. That's kind of what happened in this game to the dudes. So many awesome scoring opportunities, but not able to convert. You got to think mentally how that affects them. You're getting all these chances, you're not able to convert, and you're having to work so hard on the defensive end, and then you give up a goal. So I would love to see the dudes really just figure it out. They've got to figure it out mentally, make sure they stay in this game properly. They've been playing well. They just got to keep up that pressure, and eventually they're gonna, you know, eventually one's gonna go in if they keep that pressure up and keep playing the Rocket League we've seen from them.
Yeah, credit as well over to the dudes on offense. Starting to play a little bit cleaner with the rotations, less double commits than what we saw earlier on. That's the beauty of playing against veteran rosters. You only make yourself excel. You improve much quicker than when you would be playing at a lower pace. So these guys just kind of able to just turn off their brains and just play. You know, things just come naturally. It's instinctively.
Honestly, just great passes. There we saw it again. AXB is trying to hit Ralph there in the middle. Ralph just barely missing the shot there. So the ideas are excellent for the dudes. They're having some great opportunities, but not able to finish it off. But for now, keeping it on that blue side. Sizz trying to deal with this on the defensive side. AXB with a decent angle, but Sizz able to get a piece of it, launching it over to the orange side. Ralph there, some good defense, able to clear it back the other way. But Moses is going to try to keep it on the orange side now. We'll see if Rogue can turn this into a scoring opportunity.
Good pass back up to AXB, able to clear that downfield over to Joro. But Joro playing patient, great decision making there. Instead of going and attacking that, he never would have made it to it first. He backs off, gets boost, and then goes to where he thinks the ball is going to be. It allows him to keep this pressure on as Rogue is trying to break off of their back half. You see Moses flick it right up in the midfield, easily read by AXB, able to play it back inside. As the offense of the dudes trying to suffocate this team. It doesn't matter. He's able to break out, going for the double touch, gets the shot, but misses just wide.
That was so close. He did a great job serving himself up, but not quite able to get the angle he was looking for. And now AXB going the other way. It's all about the counterattacks, trying to get the double touchdown, but not able to make it happen. Off the backboard, Ralph passing it over to Joro. Over to Ralph again, off the backboard and down. Oh my God, it goes in. What a team play. A little bit lucky there on the defensive laps there. I think Insolence is trying to save that, but just the angle's a little bit too tough to deal with there from Rogue.
What unselfish play from the dudes on offense as well. Rather than taking the direct approach, they find that man who's open across the field and put an immediate pass on. Even though that aerial touch wasn't the best, he's still in the right position to go up and make a touch. And ends up getting lucky as a read from up top, difficult to save as another shot opportunity and in. The dude's now on top with 30 seconds left in game number 3.
You know, this is like weirdly reminding me of how a lot of top European teams play, where that's very like pass centric. And it's awesome. It's awesome to see that from the dudes. They are literally looking for their teammates first in most of these plays, going for these awesome passes, and it's working out so far. They have a 2-1 advantage, 30 seconds left. Remember, we're tied 1-1, so a very important game here to stay alive in the Dreamhack Open qualifiers. But we'll see if Rogue can figure anything out here, as they need one goal to send it in overtime.
Both these teams trying to fight for match point with only 12 seconds left in game number 3. As Moses plays that over to Sizz, a shot immediately contested by Joro, as he's just circling straight to the backboard, trying to make sure he's there for a save in case it does go high. But we may see our third overtime. No. Smacked in the face and straight down. The dude's on top. Did you feel the sound of that too? It was just like, wham. And then it just...
I mean, I'm like super impressed. Joro, Ralph, AXB playing some awesome Rocket League right now. Shot differential, 8-5. So certainly more of the same of what we saw in the previous game there. We're just keeping up the pressure. And most importantly, those pass plays, like really making those pass plays work and looking out for each other. It seems like one of these players is mostly always going to be in the middle of the map, waiting for the teammate to kind of launch it forward. So just great awareness from the entire team, just looking out for their teammates, making those passes happen and getting easier goals that way. I mean, that last goal was pretty crazy. But if you can make those smooth passing plays happen, I feel like a lot of people would be surprised at how easy those goals can really feel. But now it's up to Rogue. They're down 1-2. They're on the verge of being knocked out of this tournament. So they got to figure something out here to try to bring this back.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about how soccer is the beautiful sport, and a lot of it has to do those quick one-touch pass plays where you make a pass from one side of the field inside, and then you just get a screamer top right. And it's kind of the closest we really get to like real soccer in the traditional sense of the sport, where like goalies have to preemptively go up for saves. You saw Squishy make a bunch of those at RLCS where he jumped up top left before the shot even happened, because it's the only way you can make shots or like save those shots that happen. Like, the fact that we're starting to see that from teams is insane, and to see it propel to where you're maybe going to have to start being, as a defender, like going for saves preemptively is baffling and crazy to think about altogether. But at the same time, like, it just shows why offense beats defense. Like, it's been how it has for the longest time, ever since Gibbs was a full-time goalie, and they eventually figured out, you know, solid 3-man rotation is the way to go, as Rogue is going to sneak one in here. 20 seconds off to a good start.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything they can ask for there. Losing 2 games in a row, you're down 2-1. Your tournament life is on the line. Just come out of the gates super hard. Just start that aggression and pressure from the front and go for that quick goal. And that's exactly what happens. Rogue going up 1-0, 20 seconds in. I feel like this is certainly going to be a spectacle of a game. I don't favor either team dramatically at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see this going to overtime either. But look for the dudes to tighten it up a little bit on the defense after giving out that first goal. But honestly, I really think we have our game on our hands here. I expect this very much to go back and forth.
Well, ball lofted in front of the net and played into the corner by the defense of Rogue. But this team of the dudes able to get to it first as they're trying to keep putting on pressure. Unfortunately for General, trying to hit it with the top left of his corner. Not able to get the power he's looking for. A little bit softer touch. Sid decides to slow it down, beats out one and over the top. AXB able to make a save. Dude's trying to transition his back downfield as a lucky touch, getting that second one back to his teammate.
We see Ralph pushing it towards the blue side. Sizz doing a pretty decent job in the defensive end. We saw him slow it down a little bit earlier. I think that's a great opportunity for him to really make some plays happen. If he can be there on defense, ready and waiting for those balls to come forward. Moses with a nice demo onto AXB. Could this be a scoring opportunity? So dangerous, the ball in such a tricky spot there on the orange side, but Rogue not able to convert a scoring opportunity. But Rogue certainly applying a lot of pressure in this game. Much different than what we saw in the previous 2 games. And now you see the dudes almost with a scoring opportunity. So still very much back and forth. Moses on defense trying to push it the other way.
Both teams just trying to keep it close. As Rogue just hoping to wind this time down, as the score differential hasn't really been that much larger than 1 or 2 goals. But back in the midfield we go. This guy's just trying to find something.
AXB, always got to look out for AXB. I'm watching him super closely now, because that one goal he had in that last game was pretty crazy. Ralph gonna try to bring it up the side here. Sizz backwards on the wall. Not sure about that. Ralph gonna send it to the middle. It was an scoring opportunity from AXB, and he's able to hit off the backboard. Joro able to finish it through. Gosh, I think that started with Sizz kind of messing up there on the wall, and then Insolence has found himself in an awkward position, and from there, it's 3 versus 1 against Moses, so it's gonna be a score every single time.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with your exclamation there about Sizz being backwards on that wall, kind of starting it all off. But you still have to give credit. Pass back inside. Just a quick touch on a 2 versus 2 situation. Just beat him out, and then a shot on net.
Ooh, nice back pass. I like back passes. Unless I'm accidentally scoring on my own team. But that's not my fault. My teammate's not expecting the back pass. I mean, come on.
I heard you have a couple back passes last night.
Yeah, dude.
You even called them. I mean, I don't know if it was intentional or not. But
yeah.
You like hit it backwards. You're like, oh yeah, back pass.
Okay, sometimes it's not. I'll be honest. But I think they are. I don't know if they're undervalued, but I love seeing it in pro play. AXB going up to the middle. That's a great pass. I think that was Ralph launched it over to him. Moses' awkward position here, passing it right to Ralph, who not the best shot there. Put it right towards the middle of the net. Kind of want to get that to one of the corners, I suppose. But the pressure is on for the dudes. Tie game here, 1-1. It's a must-win situation for Rogue. Are they going to be out of these qualifiers? Oh my God, the dudes almost able to score the ball right in front of the goal for 2 or 3 seconds there. I almost felt sure that someone would come in and finish that through. But for now, the defense from Rogue staying solid, but the pressure is just getting heavier and heavier from the dude's side. I'm sure they're going after those boosts as well, but it feels like they have the momentum right now.
I mean, to touch on what you said, you expected someone to come in and make a shot, but the same thing applies for the dudes. They expect someone to make that touch and make that save, so they're not going to commit anything to it because they don't think it's going to be worthwhile. So just a domino effect of mistakes going back and forth, but Rogue finally able to break out of their half as we're tied 1-1 here with a minute remaining. Dudes on a match point, 2-1 in the series, playing it downfield, trying to make a save. It bounces back up and settles in the midfield.
Yeah, the pressure is on Rogue. Gotta win it. Gotta win this game, or they're gonna be out. Insolences with the demo that might start good things off. Ralph deleted from the game for just a second there, but the pressure remains on the blue side. The dudes with the scoring opportunity. Nice save there from Sizz, pushing it over to the corner, but control still belongs to the dude AXB with the pass to the middle. He's been seeing a lot of those. Joro trying to get control of this, but pretty awkward angle for him. Is going to ultimately end up missing it. Ralph is there, though, to help sweep things up. Joro, actually, he's way in the back, and it looks like Rogue going to try to keep it on the orange side this time. Insolus is going up, hitting it towards the goal. 10 seconds left. Might go into overtime here, but scoring opportunity for Rogue. Potentially Moses lofting it up. Joro just barely missing it. Insolence is in a pretty decent position. Gonna hit it off the side. Gonna come to the middle. And Sizz able to score with 0 seconds left, bringing it to 2-1 for Rogue. And they're gonna tie up the series 2-2.
Huge mistake by your boy XB here. He had the ability to go in and contest that immediately. Instead, he stays in net. He needs to trust that his teammates are gonna rotate behind him so he can go and contest that. And because of that situation, it allows the opportunity for this team to set up a play and put a shot on net, and now we're tied up yet again.
Okay. I hope everyone has your popcorn because we're going to a game 5. Looking at the other side of the bracket, Allegiance did end up taking out Game Time Go. So effectively, we have 4 teams that are eligible for the last spot from the North American qualifiers to get that trip
to
to
Game Time
Leipzig.
Going to sweep too.
Yeah, 3-0 series sweep there for Allegiance. They're in good shape right now. So it's Equinox, Allegiance, the dudes, and Rogue. And this series is going to come down to the final game. And honestly, I feel like overall, that game was super close. I feel like the dudes might have had the advantage as far as pressure and possession. But overall, very, very even game overall. And it came down to Sizz with the playmaking ability in overtime. And sometimes that's what it comes down to with experienced players, experienced teams. It's going to come down to those critical moments where there's a little bit more pressure, where you have to make the play when it absolutely matters. And if anyone has been there, it's been Sizz. And he's able to make it happen at 0 seconds in regulation.
Got to make up for that mistake on the wall, and he does it. But the big difference for me in that game was the fact that they moved that defense up to that midfield line. A lot of pressure and contesting in the midfield and allowed them to transition only half the field and put pressure on net. So good job by Rogue recognizing the issue of sitting back that far and giving away all that boost. They now have a little bit extra hundreds to work with, able to put on that pressure and get the goal. But on to game 5, do or die in this situation. Either team can move on to an Allegiance that just 3-0'd Game Time Go, waiting, watching for them as an early chance, and it goes underneath. Juro gets the goal.
Wow. We saw this in the last game, except it was Rogue scoring the early goal. Just coming out of the gates incredibly quickly. Ralph with a great chance. Insolences with a really nice save. But Joro was there in the sweeping position to finish that through, giving the 1-0 advantage early on here to the dudes, where every single goal matters so much when it comes to momentum, pressure. The dudes have to be feeling good about that, and if I were them, I would just keep pouring on that pressure. Do not be comfortable with that 1-0 victory. Try to get 1 or 2 more in there, because Rogue, they are a fighting team. At any time, they could break out and bring it back.
Recognizing Insolence is not on his usually used Batmobile, rocking the Octane. I don't know, I'm just noticing that now. I haven't seen Insult play in a while, maybe that's why.
I don't think the Batmobile is being used as much since the change.
No, people are,
in general.
Its booming qualities are not the same.
Yes. Like, I think Fairy Peak's been using Octane. Actually,
Fire as well. I think Fire went back, though. Fire, you're in chat.
Right.
Hello,
look at Sizz. Sizz is bullying AXP in the goal there. That was hilarious. AXP's like, leave me alone. And very nearly a scoring opportunity there from Rogue. Keeping it on the orange side, and pretty much the past 20 seconds or so, Sizz kind of deflection over to Moses, back to Sizz. He's trying to pass it on forward, going towards that backboard, trying to redirect it to the front of the goal, but Ralph is there on defense. Joro there to help out the defense as well, going to try to pitch it forward to the blue side, but no, Insolences is there, trying to bring it back to the middle. AXB in the corner over to Ralph. There's a nice passing play. AXB going to go up. This could be a scoring opportunity right towards the goal. Can he finish it off with a double touch? Yes, he can. Nice play from AXB and a good passing play overall from the dudes. They're up 2-0.
Super clean touch as well, right over the top. It says, despite getting bumped, takes his time, feathers that boost, and puts a shot in net. A minute and a half gone by, up by 2, and this is the biggest score margin spread that we've seen between these two. Rogue has been able to bounce back, though, despite being down a majority of these games. Been able to squeak by. It's a ball into the corner. Sizz trying to play that over the top, has a pass right in front of the net, and a shot from Moses. Beautiful 1-2 coming in from Rogue.
Oh, man. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you're looking for. Great 50-50 challenge there from Sizz, getting complete control of the ball. And then from there, just a nice floater right on over to Moses. He knew he was there. And Moses with a great strike, hitting it with a lot of force and then a great angle as well to make a goal. But Rogue needs a little bit more of that. They're still down a goal, and they might get it here. Insolence is able to follow it through. Rogue keeping the ball on that orange side, just pummeling it against that backboard. First Sizz, then Moses, and then Insolence is able to follow it through. Rogue turning the momentum around here. That's 2 goals pretty quickly there, and we're tied 2-2.
All it took was 20 seconds to tie it back up. Oh, the pressure.
All right, Rogue, gotta be feeling it right now. We feel a little nervous. I know I would be. Oh my God! Joro trying to be a bully in the goal there. We almost had one of the slowest goals I've ever seen, but Rogue able to figure it out and defend it. But the problem is the dudes are just not leaving the blue side now. They've let those 2 goals happen, and now they're like, all right, it's our turn. But Moses is going to try to bring it back the other way. Both these teams know absolutely what is on the line here. The winner of this game moves on in the tournament and keeps their hopes alive for being one of the qualifying teams for Dreamhack Leipzig. The losing team will be out in this lower bracket. AXB moving on over to the right-hand side, trying to float it off over to the middle. We're seeing these pass plays a lot towards the middle of the field, but looks like, I think that was Sizz there to kind of deflect that away. And still going back and forth at this time, and looks like that's just how it is right now. No sheer dominance anywhere as far as pressure is concerned. Maybe the game's slowing down a little bit. Both these teams just trying to avoid making mistakes.
Kind of gets to that once the pressure is on. As a shot top left, taking opportunity there. What a great 50-50 challenge to set that up for his team. Right there.
Oh, yeah. And Ralph, you know, that can be tough. If you see a teammate going forward, you don't want to be too close because you don't want to be disrupting, but Ralph doing a great job there, just kind of being in a shadow position, a little bit behind his teammate, just in case that deflection happens. Right place, right time. Oh my God. Ralph, what are you doing?
It's their turn to score 2 goals now, really quick. They're just trading it off. And now it's Rogue's turn. Right? Okay. That's how this works, right?
I think that's what's going on. 4-2 advantage. That's 6 goals in 3 minutes. That's a good amount of goals here. Especially considering every game before this I feel like has been relatively low scoring.
Yeah.
But now it's up to Rogue. Let's see if they can get a quick 2 in a row. Insolence is staying on top of that ball, keeping it in play there on the orange side. Joro trying to deflect it towards the blue side, but barely missing it. Moses lofting it up. AXB is there, but Sizz there off the wall, able to greet it. Hitting it toward the middle. Double touch, just barely wide. Insolence is trying to finish it off. Where is Moses? He's a little bit in the back, but what an opportunity there for Rogue to try to bring it back a little bit in this very important game. Again, loser is out. Sizz over to Insolence is just barely not able to jump in time. Not in the greatest position. There's a demo from Ralph onto Moses, and now the dude's going to try to bring it the other way. Sizz in a decent position over to Insolences, and Sizz barely hitting that again. Rogue trying to pour on the pressure. They understand what's on the line here. They have to get a goal here to give themselves time and space to try to bring it back here in this game and come up with a victory in this series.
I mean, you're really starting to see the pressure that they're trying to put on. They understand the circumstance that they're in. Redlands is rotating back. He stays up, immediately turns around, waiting for a pass or a shot opportunity. As they recognize with a minute left, they need to score soon.
Oh, no.
As the pressure only going to happen more and more for the dudes. A play over the top. Moses with an opportunity. Slows it down, plays a pop over and a bump on defense. Wide open net. Doesn't matter. But you're starting to see Rogue set things up. Trying to everything.
Getting so physical, too.
I mean, sometimes you just got to make it happen.
Running out of time. 30 seconds. Got to get 2 goals or they're out of the North American qualifiers. And we have a lot of Rogue fans watching. Sizz trying to be fancy in the air, bringing it toward the middle. Instances there, not able to get a lot of momentum behind that shot. So just floating it off on over to the right-hand side. Joro is there too, trying to bring it out towards the middle and send it back towards the blue end. Time is on their side and time is running out for Rogue. Can they score 2 goals in 10 seconds? I'm not so sure. There's one towards the goal. Sizz a little bit in the wrong position. Moses trying to follow it up, but no, I think the defense is going to be a little bit too strong for the dudes. And how about that? The dudes are going to be taking this series over Rogue 3-2, and they're going to be advancing to the next round in the lower bracket.
A lot of it because of that pressure on offense, and it only got better as the series went on. Those rotations starting to get a little bit cleaner, a little bit more confidence coming up from them. That's exactly what they need. They have a dominant Allegiance performance waiting for them, and then if they can do that, they get their rematch against Equinox, and I'm sure that's all they want is a rematch opportunity, but still, what a series coming out, and unfortunate for Rogue. Apparently, the pieces of the puzzle not fitting just right. Whew, what a series, man. Bunch of overtimes, very close matches until that last one. But that's kind of what happens when it's all on the line. Everybody just kind of sends everything in hopes.
It's a ton of fun, too, especially in these open formats where you don't know what team is really going to show up on the day of. And the dudes, I'll be honest, I hadn't known as much about them, but it's awesome to see them being so competitive against Equinox and now taking out Rogue just like that. In particular, I feel like every player on this team showing some really nice strengths. AXB with some crazy mechanical plays that are ridiculous, and then just want to highlight the passing plays. The passing plays have just been phenomenal. Little short passes, just being aware of where your teammates are on the field, have been great from the dudes. So they're going to be moving on to the next round to play against Allegiance. We have 2 matches left for the stream, 2 best of 5s. So we're going to take a short break here from twitch.tv/Axeltoss. Coming up next, we have Allegiance versus the dudes. The winner of that will play against Equinox, and the winner of that will get the last spot from the North American qualifier into Dreamhack Leipzig. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.